Before this video begins, I want to let you guys know that I tried my absolute hardest to get this video out to you guys while actually showing clips from the series throughout the video to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So if I'm talking about particular characters or scenes or anything like that, I edited the video together in order to show you those scenes to give better context to what I was talking about. But every time I would go to upload it to YouTube, I would get copyright flagged, copyright flagged, copyright flagged. I would do every single thing that I could think of to get around it. All the clips were like 10 seconds in length or shorter. I kept making the clips shorter and shorter. I made the clips transparent so that you could see through straight to the background and you couldn't really see the clips at all. Just, it didn't matter what I did. None of the music from the TV series was in there. No actual audio from the TV series was in there. It does not matter what I did. I tried uploading it 5 times. I re-edited it, and did it again. And every single time it would flag me. It would pick one area in the video that it would flag, and I would try to fix that area, and then it would pick a completely different area of the video later on. And I actually tried really hard to edit this video together and make it really nice and presentable in a cool little review video essay type format, but I don't know how other YouTubers get around it. I tried every trick in the book that I could possibly think of, and I kept getting flagged. So pretty much most of this video is just going to be a plain static image with the original audio that I had over the video clips from before. So I'm sorry if that's disappointing. I'm sorry if it's very boring visually to look at. I just want you guys to know that I tried, and I didn't want to get rid of the video completely. I wanted to still be able to upload it because I did work on it all of yesterday and then most of today just trying to re-edit it. So I didn't want it to go to waste, and I've been rewatching through the series, so I really wanted to review it. So here is the review for you guys, and I apologize about the visuals. You can thank YouTube for that, I guess. So, how do you begin to talk about Paranoia Agent, a dark psychological thriller created by the mastermind Satoshi Kon? This is the guy that has directed some similarly disturbing anime movies, the most popular of which being Perfect Blue, a film that within itself is worthy of its own review at some point on this channel. A central theme of his work seems to be focusing on the internal psychological breakdown of the characters that he creates, and juxtaposing the reality of the world that they are facing alongside the fantasy elements of how they interpret that reality in various ways. Paranoia Agent is a 13-episode series, very short and sweet, and the only series that Kon has been involved with directing. And though there is a connective tissue in between all of the episodes, and I would say some sort of overall narrative, but mostly every episode focuses either on one or a small group of characters, all living within the same city and dealing with their own personal psychological problems that are collectively coming to a breaking point, in their own special way. A girl that's under pressure to create the next big popular character, a young boy fearing that his popularity will wane, a young woman leading a double life and failing to separate the real persona from the false one, a crooked police officer working for the Yakuza and yet still believing that he's in the right, detectives trying to solve an impossible case, and the through line that is connecting all of them is a young boy on golden rollerblades, skating around the streets and bashing people over the head with a metal baseball bat, named by the populace as Lil Slugger. See, it's deduced early on that Little Slugger is somehow targeting people who are going through deep psychological stress. But the fact of the matter is, nobody can seem to track down or find the young boy that is causing these attacks, nor are they able to understand how he finds these people that he is targeting. But on top of that, the entire idea of Little Slugger is how one small event that cannot even be proven can snowball into an all-out panic among the populace at large. In the first episode, we get the first attack of Little Slugger. We follow a character named Tsukiko, and she is the creator of an animated mascot for a company called Moromi. Think of Moromi as kind of like a Mickey Mouse or a Hello Kitty type phenomenon. People are obsessed with this little character, which is a little pink dog, and there are shirts, backpacks, toys, dolls, and even an animated series in the works that one of the episodes focuses on. Tsukiko is now under pressure to create the next big character after Moromi, and as she deals with the stress of trying to create the new character, she is assaulted in an alleyway by Little Slugger. Now, since she's physically hurt, this postpones her need to create the new character, and the attack lifts her burden, so to speak. But since there was no witnesses, people begin to suspect that maybe she made it up. After all, a kid on roller skates with a bat, it's just one of those things that seems so obvious to be a lie, and yet there is soon another attack, and then another one, and then another one. This news is circulated through the community, and Little Slugger becomes something like an urban legend. Many places in the world, many towns, have their own urban legend about something dangerous or weird that has happened there. I remember in my town, in elementary school, there was a rumor about a guy named Psycho Biker. I'm not even kidding you, that was the rumor. Some dude on a motorcycle that drove around and would hurt you if he ever caught you alone. And I remember every time it got brought up, another kid had another story about Psycho Biker. And after a while, the sightings became so collective that you couldn't really deny his existence, at least not without looking like an outcast yourself. And that's what happens in Paranoia Agent. The attacks continue to add up in the collective paranoia of the citizens, and soon Little Slugger is appearing more and more frequently, attacking more and more people, and yet is impossible to find or catch by the police. Paranoia Agent plays with the idea of how information spreads and how people are willing to believe without evidence, and believe whatever the media tells them, as it's the news outlets that mostly spread the tale of Little Slugger and warn people to be afraid and to guard themselves from the attacks. And if there's anything these last few years have taught us, is that we can't treat this kind of stuff as just something that would happen in a movie or happen in an anime series. The spread of information is so quick now, and the way that people latch onto stories and ideas without any research or evidence is honestly pretty scary. People's entire career can be taken away and their futures canceled over a simple snowball effect from online rumors and hearsay. And it becomes so strong that to deny that hearsay looks poorly on you. Or you just want to be part of the conversation so badly that you create something of your own to go along with the stories that already are there and fit into the overall narrative that's being spread. That's the fear and horror that happens in Paranoia Agent. The terror aspect doesn't come from the characters on an individual level as much as it comes from the overall idea that one little story can become the truth in the hearts and minds of the masses. But then again, people are consistently injured, so it's like, what is Little Slugger? Is he real? Is he human? Is he something else? And this is the concept that we are presented with. But even with that being the thread that ties everything together, like I said, each episode focuses on a completely different character, going through their own struggle in life, and some of them get really dark. They are also all different ages, genders, job titles, and what have you. So the thing about it is it showcases that it doesn't matter what walk of life you took. Paranoia, fear, anxiety, and trauma can happen to anyone, anywhere, and is way more prevalent than is talked about in the mainstream. And the scarier part is you more or less are going to connect and identify with at least one of these characters. Now, I don't want to spoil the series, but I do want to mention some standout episodes for me. The first focuses on a crooked cop named Masami. He owes money to the Yakuza from his boorish lifestyle choices, and yet he tries to collect the money and repay his debt. He imagines himself as a hero character while doing so, directly relating his life to the fictional story in a manga about a strong, powerful man taking on the bad guys and getting the girl, while in reality he is aging, overweight, paying for hookers, and actively stealing from innocent people. He views himself as a strong role model and a father figure, even having a house built for his family, which he does not have. And it's incredibly sad and awkward to watch at some points, and it definitely showcases that this is an adult series, though not terribly explicit. There isn't a ton of gore and only about 3 or 4 shots of very quick, brief nudity, but with the subject matter at hand, it feels really heavy, especially in this episode. Another standout for me, and possibly my favorite episode of the series, is episode 8, called Happy Family Planning. This episode features 3 characters who were online friends and are all meeting up together for the first time in person. One is an older man, one probably in his early 20s, and shockingly to both of them, the third one is a little girl. This is a problem not just because of the ramifications of meeting up with a child online, but because of the reason that they decided to meet up, which was so that they could all kill themselves together. Yeah, agreeing into a suicide pact and deciding to end it all together. The thing about this episode is the overall tone is pretty light and fun. They are happy to meet one another, and even as they consider different ways to kill themselves, there is this light in their eyes as they do so. However, because one of them turned out to be a child, the other 2 consistently try to save her while ending their own lives. But also, if they succeed in doing that, they will leave her by herself, which is what they don't want to do. It is a super fucked up episode, but incredibly interesting to watch through. I will say also that because each episode focuses on different characters, it also has its own tone and style, as if it focuses through the lens of whoever is the main character that happens to be in that episode. The animation style, the mood, the lighting, the tone, they all shift to suit the story that it's telling. And the series can go from eerily creepy into an action epic quest, to a melancholy testimonial, to brutal truths about the reality. And I think there will be at least one episode that stands out to you and connects with you, like the previous two did with me. This is a series that I can't really think of any negatives, but at only 13 episodes, it doesn't really go on long enough for it to have them. Each episode has a purpose and tells its own story, and there is an overall narrative that connects from episode 1 to 13 when it all comes together in the final climax. A lot of the series does showcase a detective character looking into the little slugger case named Akari, and I connected with him a lot too in his frustration in trying to solve the case, and in a No Country for Old Men kind of vibe, him noticing how different the world of law and order and crime is now from how he imagined it when he was younger and more idealistic. The simple world of cops and robbers isn't so simple anymore. Like I said, this series is dark, but not dark in the way of like Berserk or Gantz. It deals with deep themes and ideas and the daily struggles people go through that eventually build to a tipping point, and we see the last frayed ends of a person's sanity before they break. I would say that by the end, there is an overall message of positivity that you can take from it, about facing the reality around you and how our inner fictions, though necessary for us to deal with the surrounding world, can be dangerous if we consistently feed into them and allow them to become the truth that doesn't exist. But yeah, if I speak on it anymore, I'm going to spoil a bunch of stuff, and I'd rather for you to watch it for yourselves. So tell me what you think. Have you seen Paranoia Agent? If so, let me know what you think down in the comments, and if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend checking it out. And at only 13 episodes, it won't take up a ton of your time. This series is something that I would consider a work of art. Just straight up, just art. But tell me what you think. Also, please check out the links in the description for my merch store, get yourself a shirt, and the Patreon if you want to support the channel on that deeper level. I would really appreciate it. Other than that, my social media links are also down there that you can follow, so check those out if you're interested. Other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day, and that you check out Paranoia Agent. I'll talk to you next time.